Hey guys, what's up? It's been a minute, hasn't it? So, I had to take off for a while. I just needed to get some time away just to figure some stuff out. So in this video, I just want to explain what happened this summer and the last couple of years. But then I also want to let you guys know about my life, because I don't think a lot of people know much about me. They think they do, but I don't think they really do. All right, guys. So, I was born July 2nd, 1980 in Seattle, Washington. If you guys don't know, I'm Native American and a whole bunch of other stuff. I got one of those ancestry DNA tests and I'm like 10 different things. It's pretty gnarly. Right when I could start to move around, I was always getting into some kind of trouble. It's fun for me until I'd get hurt. By the time I was 5, I probably went to the emergency room about 7 times. And I wanted to learn how to skate really young, probably like around 5. But my parents didn't think it was a good idea. And now in hindsight, looking back on that, they probably made the right choice, because I probably would have got hurt and been like, I'm over skating. So I'm glad. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I moved around a bunch, but then around 5 years old, I ended up on the Colville Indian Reservation. That's where I am right now. Beautiful place, great place to grow up. Growing up on the reservation, though, was really awesome. We would go hunting, sledding, fishing, be out on this lake all the time, playing out in the woods. I think it was around when I was 10 or 11, my parents got a divorce. And that was the first kind of traumatic thing that happened to me in my life. And I remember just being really mad all the time, which I think most kids are. Doesn't matter what age, but I remember being 10 and being pretty pissed off, like, why is this happening? After my parents got divorced, after some time, my dad moved to Los Angeles and my mom stayed up here. And me and my brothers and sister went down to visit him one summer, and we liked it a lot. When I was in 6th grade, my brothers and sisters and I, we went to a Native American boarding school called Pascal Sherman. When I was younger, I was pretty mad. I didn't really like it that much in the beginning, but it really grew on me. At the end of the year, I really liked it a lot. Growing up now, I feel like it really helped me with a lot of my independence. I'm really happy my mom did that for us. At first, it was kind of tough though. If your parents ever want to send you to a boarding school, you might want to think about it, because it might end up really helping you later on in life. I believe it was in the summer of 92 or 93. Everything just really kind of fell apart family-wise, and me and my brothers and sisters ended up having to stay in a couple foster homes, and it was kind of crazy, but we ended up in some pretty good places. It was definitely an adventure. Nothing bad ever happened to us, so I can't really say it was that negative of an experience. It was definitely hard though. I remember when it was first happening how it definitely just really set in, like, dang, my parents probably aren't getting back together and this is probably part of life. That was a really low point, especially being a kid. After that, I remember it was pretty tough to be happy for a while, and you know, it was just a struggle. When I was 12 turning 13, my dad was able to work out with the state that we could go and live with him in LA. Ever since then, I just really fell in love with the city, and it was a great time growing up there. Adjusting from school up here to school down there was a little tough. I remember I was dressed pretty funny the first couple days, and I just didn't really know what was up. It was kind of tricky to get used to it. When I was 13 years old, my brother brought home a skateboard. And at first he was just pushing up and down the street, and I was like, oh yeah, whatever. And then I saw him trying tricks, and I think it was either a shove it or a 180. And I was like, whoa, how'd you do that? I was just like entranced, which I think probably all of you guys were also the same. When you saw someone do a trick, you're like, wait, it's like magic. Your mind doesn't really get it at first. So I would mess around on his board, and I started to almost learn stuff, but then my brother's getting mad because I was always playing with his board. So the last day of my freshman year of high school, it was June 14th, 1994, I bought my first used skateboard off a friend. And that just changed my whole life. Skateboarding really just gave me an outlet to express myself. From then on, all the way through high school, I had a great high school experience. I went to William Howard Taft in Woodland Hills, grew up in the Valley. After I graduated high school, I was hanging out with some friends, and they were telling me these stories about this little kid who supposedly was doing these skateboard tricks that were unbelievable. And I called bullshit on my friend. I was like, nah, Brandon, you're tripping. Like, there ain't no kid doing that stuff. He brought over video of this kid, and he showed it to me. And I was like, whoa. I was like, okay, well, let's skate with him. Let's see what's up. So he came over, and we went out skating, and the kid was just as good as my friend said. And it was pretty impressive. And me and him got along really well. It was Paul Rodriguez, and those were some really great years for us. We just hung out all the time and went skating, and it was a really cool time. Yeah, skateboarding has taken me to a lot of awesome places. I've got to meet a lot of awesome people. If you really work hard in skating, it's pretty crazy how well it will take care of you. You just really got to stay focused and just keep progressing. That's the biggest thing. So for a while, life was really good. Fast forward a bit, I think I was about 25. My brother was having some trouble, going through some depression and just having some really dark times in his life. And he passed away unexpectedly that year. And it was just really sudden. He was gone. And he was the one who got me into skating, so it was really tough. It's been a while now, so I've been able to grow from that and turn it into a positive as best I can. But I miss him every day. I think about him quite a bit. That was my first big encounter with death. And I have a big heart for anyone who just loses someone unexpectedly, because you just don't think of it. Especially, he was younger than me, you know? Like, when you lose a parent, that's kind of expected in life. But that was really, really tough for me. And I was really messed up for a long time. Skating was hard because it was so interconnected with him. But, yeah, it was really, 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 really hard. I wasn't really right in the head for at least like 5 to 7 years. I was just really depressed and kind of out of it. And I would come out of it at times, but it's really crazy how stuff like that will just completely change your life, because it's not really happening to you, but it's your family. So I guess it shows how the interconnectedness of all of us, how it really changes us. Because I remember when it happened and I heard about what happened, I was just like, I completely fell apart. It was the most traumatic experience I've ever been through, for sure. It was really, really tough. So I started my YouTube channel basically almost right when YouTube started. I just thought the fact that we could just share videos for free was such an awesome concept, because before then everything was on DVD and you couldn't really show people skating at skate parks or just having fun with your friends. Vlogging was like, yeah, that was impossible to do. I mean, you'd see a day in the life in 4-in-1. The reason I started my YouTube channel, and the reason I think it blew up, is at that time, me and Paul Rodriguez and some of our friends, Jeremy Rogers, Terry Kennedy, Dan Abadi, we all decided to start a website called skatesite.com. A good amount of the videos were streamed through my YouTube channel, and the website didn't end up working out, which was a shame. Kind of wish it did work out. At the end of Skatesite, I kept just uploading videos here and there. I remember YouTube contacted me around 2010, and they asked me, like, hey, do you want to try and monetize your videos? I'd never really heard of anyone doing this at the time, but I thought, like, yeah, if I could get paid making YouTube videos, let's give it a shot. Yeah, that's how YouTube came about for me, and then I just kept going. So it's been a really fun time working with YouTube and just doing everything, and I'm very happy to have been able to start at the beginning, because I know it's like really hard to start now. So to any of you future YouTubers or people who want to do it, good luck. Just work really hard and be passionate and just go for it. After I recovered from my brother, life was again pretty good for a long time. And as you can see, it's like this wave, which I think most people's are, but mine are like really high, really low, really high, really low, really high, really low. So I'm just trying to be in the middle somewhere. But life was good for a long time. I met my girlfriend in 2004, 2005, around that time. We were together for 14 years, and we just broke up recently. So that's one of the main reasons I left. A breakup can be really tough, especially one that long. We're still friends though, so I'm very proud of that. We talk, and I hope that she does really well. The other thing that happened is 3 years ago, my dad died. And he was really sick for a long time, so we knew it was coming, which was good. And I think I was doing pretty good with dealing with his death, because that's an expected death. I'd already gone through my brother's death, so that wasn't as traumatic. It was traumatic, but not as bad. And but then in May, when I stopped pretty much making YouTube videos, or right around that time, my sister died unexpectedly, and she was only 28. So she lives up here in this beautiful area. That's why I'm up here. And yeah, I just came up to get away from LA. It was just feeling like too much at once, trying to keep the channel going and doing everything, but also trying to heal. was just way too hard for me. The main reason I wanted to do this video and to talk about all these different things that have happened in my life, the good and the bad, is to basically let everyone out there know that this stuff happens. And you know, I remember when I was a kid, my dad asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I looked at him and I told him, I was like, Dad, I just want to be happy. And he just looked at me really surprised, and he was like, you're gonna do all right, man. So being happy has always been a very important thing in my life. Like, you know, money's cool, fame's cool, success is cool, but what's the point if you're not happy? You have to be happy. If you're not happy, you're just gonna be miserable with a bunch of crap or whatever it is. You know, it doesn't make sense to me. I think the biggest misconception of people who are happy is that we're just like naturally happy. A lot of people don't understand that a lot of work goes into staying happy, being happy, and growing that. It's like watering a plant in a sense. Whether it's skateboarding that makes you happy, or watching movies that makes you happy, or hanging out with friends that makes you happy, or your girlfriend that makes you happy, or nature, or whatever it is. There's certain things you have to do to be happy. And I understand that some people, it's just harder. I really understand that now. I get it. And for me, this last 3 months being up here is me just really kind of letting go of a lot of things and just realizing that I needed to do this for me. I just had to take this time to heal and to decide what I want to do with the rest of my life. Like, I'm in this very transitionary state, and I hope YouTube and skateboarding are always part of it. I do. From some of the things I've learned from coming up here and dealing with everything that's happened to me over my life, because it's kind of crazy. When my sister passed, it felt like a bomb went off inside of me. And all the bad stuff that had happened had just kind of rushed to the surface. Bad stuff happens to everyone, and it's just part of life. Like, life is like a game of cards. You're just dealt these cards, and you got to play how you're going to play. Sometimes I just think it's best to just take some time and just let yourself step back and kind of heal and figure some things out. Maybe read some books, go out in nature, watching a lot of good movies, not really being on the internet too much. I know that sounds crazy, right? Just really trying to focus on myself and how I feel on the inside, not really my mind and what I'm thinking, because my mind can just start thinking crazy stuff easily because of all the stuff that's happened. Sorry, there's a car. There's never cars out here either. It's kind of crazy. There's no traffic. It's beautiful. I feel like one of the most helpful things to do if you're getting over a traumatic experience in your life is to learn to just let it go. And when you think about it, it doesn't completely destroy you. And you're just ready to move past it and to become stronger. I know there's people who just, that bad thing that happened in their life is just always right there, and they can't ever really seem to get past it. And I really feel for them because I've had a lot of traumatic stuff happen. My happiness always tends to overpower any of that stuff because I want to be happy so bad. I just keep working at it until I figure out how to get past it. But it's not like I'm ignoring it. I'm assimilating what has happened to me and taking it in and then letting it go in a way that feels right. I would like to say that I live for my brother, my dad, my sister. That's the only way I think you can do it if you lose somebody. You can't sit there and think about too much like, damn, I wish they were still here, or why are they gone, or why did that happen? It happened. Death is like, once it happens, it happens. That's it. One of the biggest things that comforts me about death now, though, is just realizing that every single thing you see or that's around you anywhere eventually is going to have to go through it. Even our sun. One day our sun will pass. Even our universe. But when that happens, it just happens. It's part of life. All right, guys, so now getting to the future and what's ahead for me, at least in the near future, I am going to upload the videos that I had left, because I have 2 or 3 videos left that I didn't upload, and then I'm going to be taking a trip to LA to skate and film and make more videos. So whoever wants to skate and film, hit me up. I'd love to meet up and get back to doing this. Hopefully there's some new people, and if anyone wants to go on a trip and explore the world and go do some stuff, let me know, because I would love to go do some stuff. Especially now, because I don't know if any of you guys know this, but I've been filming all my videos on my cell phone for the last 3 years. I can just go with you guys on a trip and film with my phone, and we'll make some awesome content. thank you guys so much for being patient and waiting for me to get through what I had to go through. If you guys have been following me on Instagram, you guys have probably seen a lot of this stuff and know a lot of this stuff, but this is the first YouTube thing I've put out. And I really wish you guys could comment on my videos, but that's a whole other thing. That was kind of tough to deal with too while dealing with all this. And they still haven't turned them back on. And the only reason they explain is because I've filmed videos with younger kids who are amazing at skateboarding. They just think I take these kids to these crazy spots and their parents aren't there, and their parents are always there, and we're always really kind of helping them and coaching them through every single thing they're doing. But they say that my channel is a high-risk channel for that reason. So that's the reason the comments aren't on. If you guys want, send a message to YouTube and ask them to turn my comments back on. Or if you guys want, just leave a comment on my channel itself and we'll just do that. And I could talk back and forth with you. Or just hit me up on Instagram and we'll talk that way. Even though I want to keep everything on YouTube, obviously. I'm feeling really, really good now. And I'm really glad I took this time. And it's your guys' lives. If you guys feel like you ever have to do something like this, I highly encourage it. Just if it's a job, if it's a relationship, if it's your friends, whatever it is, if it's not helping you and you're not happy with it, take some time off. Just get out of there. Like, our lives are too short for you to be torturing yourself. Just get out of there and figure out what you really want to do. Like, this has been one of the greatest experiences for me. I feel like I've changed so much so fast. I really hope that this video helps you guys, and I would love to talk to you guys about some of this stuff in the future too. Thank you guys a lot for watching, and I love you guys, and let's get back to the show.